What makes someone jump out of bed every morning with excitement while someone else struggles just to face another day? Is it money, success, fame, a perfect career, or is it something far deeper, something invisible that quietly gives every moment of life its meaning? Think about the happiest people you've ever met. They aren't always the richest. They aren't always the most talented. Many of them live ordinary lives, yet they carry an extraordinary sense of energy. They smile more easily. They recover from setbacks more quickly. They continue moving forward when others give up. It's almost as if they possess a secret that can't be bought or inherited. Now imagine waking up every morning knowing exactly why today matters. Imagine having a reason so powerful that even difficult days no longer feel meaningless, a reason that transforms ordinary work into meaningful contribution, challenges into opportunities for growth, and every sunrise into the beginning of another adventure rather than another obligation. This journey is about discovering that reason, not the reason someone else tells you to follow, but the one that already exists quietly within you, waiting to be uncovered. Stay with me until the very end, because the greatest discovery you may ever make isn't what you should do with your life. It's understanding why your life matters in the first place. Welcome to the reason you wake up, a journey toward purpose, fulfillment, resilience, and the quiet joy of living each day with intention. From the moment we are young, we are taught how to build a successful life. We learn how to solve problems, pass examinations, earn qualifications, and prepare for careers. These lessons are valuable because they help us survive in the world. But very few people are ever taught something equally important: how to build a meaningful life. Somewhere along the way, many people begin believing that purpose will automatically appear after achieving enough success. They tell themselves they'll finally feel fulfilled after receiving the promotion, buying the house, earning more money, or reaching retirement. Yet countless people achieve those milestones only to discover that fulfillment remains strangely distant. They climb the mountain they thought would change everything, only to realize the view was not what they expected. The reason is surprisingly simple. Achievement and purpose are not the same thing. Achievement answers the question, what have I accomplished? Purpose answers the far deeper question, why does any of it matter? Without purpose, even success can begin feeling empty, because every completed goal is quickly replaced by another. Purpose gives direction to achievement. It transforms ordinary actions into meaningful contributions. It reminds us that our lives are measured not only by what we collect, but also by what we create, who we help, and who we become along the way. One of the greatest misunderstandings about purpose is believing it arrives suddenly in one dramatic moment. Movies often portray people discovering their calling through a single life-changing event. Reality is usually much quieter. Purpose rarely appears like lightning. It grows gradually, shaped by curiosity, experience, service, learning, relationships, and countless small decisions. It reveals itself while you are busy living, not while endlessly waiting for perfect clarity. Every new skill you develop, every challenge you overcome, and every person you help teaches you something about the direction your life naturally wants to move. Imagine walking through a forest before sunrise. At first, the path ahead seems almost invisible. You cannot see the entire journey, yet with every step, the next few meters become clear. As dawn slowly arrives, more of the path reveals itself. Life often unfolds exactly this way. Waiting until you can see the entire road before taking the first step usually means standing still forever. Meaning grows through movement. Clarity follows action. The people who eventually discover fulfilling lives are often those who had the courage to begin before they possessed all the answers. Another important truth is that purpose is deeply connected to contribution. Human beings naturally seek significance, but lasting significance rarely comes from focusing entirely on ourselves. It grows when our actions improve someone else's life in some way. A teacher who inspires curiosity, a doctor who relieves suffering, a parent who raises compassionate children, an artist whose work brings hope, an entrepreneur who solves meaningful problems. Even the smallest acts of kindness can become expressions of purpose because they remind us that our lives are connected to something larger than ourselves. As we begin this journey through the reason you wake up, remember one simple idea. You do not need to become someone completely different to live a meaningful life. More often, you simply need to uncover the best version of the person you already are. Purpose is rarely hidden in distant places waiting to be found. It is often quietly waiting inside your values, your strengths, your curiosity, and your willingness to use your life to make even a small difference in the lives of others. Because in the end, the reason you wake up each morning is not simply to pass another day. It is another opportunity to grow, to serve, to learn, to love, and to become a person only you were capable of becoming. Many people spend years searching for their purpose in extraordinary places, believing it must be something dramatic, world-changing, or completely unique. They imagine that one day they will suddenly discover the perfect career, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect calling that instantly explains everything. But the reason you wake up teaches a quieter and far more realistic truth. Purpose is rarely something you find all at once. More often, it is something you build, one day at a time, through the choices you make and the habits you cultivate. It grows stronger every time your actions reflect your deepest values. It becomes clearer every time you choose courage instead of comfort, curiosity instead of fear, and contribution instead of self-interest. Imagine a sculptor standing before a massive block of stone. To everyone else, it looks like an ordinary piece of rock, but the sculptor sees something hidden inside. Day after day, small pieces are carefully removed. The changes seem almost invisible at first, yet with enough patience, an extraordinary masterpiece begins to emerge. Your purpose develops in much the same way. It isn't created overnight. Every experience shapes it. Every challenge removes another layer of uncertainty. Every lesson teaches you something about the person you are becoming. Looking back years later, what once seemed like unrelated moments often reveal themselves as essential parts of the same story. One of the greatest obstacles to living with purpose is the constant pressure to compare your journey with everyone else's. Modern life makes comparison almost unavoidable. Every day we see people celebrating promotions, launching businesses, traveling the world, or achieving goals that appear far beyond our own. Slowly, we begin believing that our own progress isn't enough. We question whether we're moving too slowly or whether we've chosen the wrong path altogether. But comparison quietly steals one of the greatest joys in life. The joy of becoming who you were meant to be. Every person begins from a different place. Every person carries different talents, faces different challenges, and grows according to a different timetable. A tree does not compete with a flower, and a river does not compete with the wind. Nature thrives through diversity, not comparison. Human lives are no different. Another lesson that transforms the way we see purpose is understanding the value of ordinary days. Many people assume meaningful lives are built during dramatic moments. They imagine life-changing speeches, major achievements, or unforgettable adventures. Yet, when you look closely at truly fulfilled people, you'll often discover that their happiness is rooted in everyday routines. They find satisfaction in preparing breakfast for their family, improving their craft one day at a time, helping a colleague solve a problem, reading a few pages before bed, or taking a quiet walk at sunset. These moments seem small when viewed individually, but together they create the emotional foundation of a meaningful life. Extraordinary lives are rarely built from extraordinary days alone. They are built from ordinary days lived with extraordinary intention. There is also tremendous wisdom in accepting that your purpose will evolve as you do. The dreams that inspire you at 20 may not be the same dreams that guide you at 40 or 60. That is not failure. It is growth. Every stage of life brings new experiences, new responsibilities, and new perspectives. A young entrepreneur may find purpose in building a company. Years later, that same person may discover even greater meaning in mentoring others. A teacher may begin by sharing knowledge, but eventually realize their greatest contribution is inspiring confidence. Purpose is alive. It changes because you change. The important thing is not to cling to yesterday's version of yourself when today's experiences are inviting you towards something deeper. One of the most remarkable discoveries on this journey is that purpose often appears where your strengths meet someone else's needs. Every person possesses abilities that come naturally. Some people communicate with remarkable clarity. Others solve complex problems. Some inspire, create, organize, heal, teach, or encourage. These talents are not accidents. They become meaningful when they improve the lives of others. The world does not need you to become a copy of someone else. It needs the unique combination of experiences, abilities, and compassion that only you can offer. Difficult seasons also play an unexpected role in shaping purpose. None of us welcomes pain, disappointment, or uncertainty. Yet, many people eventually discover that their greatest struggles become the very experiences that allow them to help others. Someone who has overcome financial hardship may one day teach others how to build stability. Someone who has experienced loss may become a source of comfort for those facing similar grief. Someone who has battled failure may inspire others to keep going when they feel ready to quit. Pain does not automatically create purpose, but when we choose to grow through it rather than be defeated by it, it often becomes one of our greatest teachers. As you continue this journey through the reason you wake up, remember that your purpose is not measured by applause, popularity, or recognition. Some of the most meaningful contributions in history have been made quietly, without headlines or public celebration. A parent shaping the character of a child, a friend listening during someone's darkest hour, a mentor believing in someone before they believed in themselves, a stranger offering unexpected kindness. These moments rarely make history books, yet they often change lives forever. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. The reason you wake up each morning does not have to be extraordinary in the eyes of the world. It simply needs to be meaningful to you. It is found in choosing growth over comfort, gratitude over complaint, courage over fear, and service over selfishness. When you live according to those principles, every sunrise becomes more than the beginning of another day. It becomes another opportunity to write a life filled with purpose, compassion, resilience, and quiet significance. And one day, when you look back on your journey, you may realize that the purpose you spent so many years searching for was never waiting somewhere in the distance. It was growing inside you all along, becoming stronger with every choice to live with intention rather than simply existing. There comes a moment in every person's life when they stop asking, "What can I get from the world?" and begin asking a far more meaningful question. What can I give to the world? That single shift changes everything. As children, we naturally focus on receiving. We seek attention, knowledge, opportunities, and experiences. There is nothing wrong with that because growth begins by learning. But as we mature, fulfillment begins flowing in the opposite direction. The happiest people are often those who have discovered the joy of contribution. They understand that real purpose is not measured by how much life gives them, but by how much of themselves they are willing to give to life. The reason you wake up reminds us that a meaningful existence is created not by collecting more, but by becoming more. Think about the people who have left the greatest impact on your life. Perhaps it was a teacher who believed in you when you doubted yourself. Maybe it was a parent who sacrificed quietly without ever expecting recognition. It could have been a friend who stayed beside you during one of your hardest seasons. What made those people unforgettable wasn't their wealth, status, or popularity. It was the way they made you feel. They gave you hope. They gave you confidence. They gave you kindness when you needed it most. Their purpose was expressed through simple actions that changed another person's life forever. This reminds us that greatness is often much quieter than the world suggests. Many people believe they need extraordinary talent before they can make a difference. They tell themselves they'll start helping others after becoming successful, financially secure, or highly respected. But purpose doesn't wait for perfection. It grows through willingness. A kind conversation costs nothing. Encouraging someone who feels discouraged requires no special qualification. Sharing knowledge, offering support, listening without judgment, or showing genuine compassion are available to every person, every single day. The impact of these moments is often impossible to measure because the smallest act of kindness can influence someone's entire future without you ever knowing it. Another lesson revealed over time is that purpose becomes stronger when it is connected to growth. Life has a way of constantly inviting us to become wiser, calmer, stronger, and more compassionate than we were yesterday. Every challenge asks something different from us. Difficult conversations teach courage. Unexpected setbacks teach resilience. Success teaches responsibility. Failure teaches humility. None of these experiences are wasted if we choose to learn from them. The purpose of adversity is rarely to stop us. More often, it prepares us for responsibilities we could not have handled before. There is also remarkable freedom in realizing that you do not have to control everything. Many people exhaust themselves trying to manage every outcome, predict every future event, and eliminate every uncertainty from their lives. But uncertainty is not the enemy of purpose. It is often the environment where purpose grows strongest. You may not know exactly where your path will lead 5 years from now, but you can always choose your next step with integrity. You can choose honesty instead of convenience, kindness instead of bitterness, curiosity instead of fear. Those choices slowly build a life that feels meaningful regardless of what tomorrow brings. One of the greatest dangers in modern life is becoming so busy that you lose touch with yourself. Endless responsibilities, constant notifications, and the pressure to always achieve more can gradually disconnect you from the quiet voice inside that knows what truly matters. That is why moments of reflection are so important. Whether it is a peaceful walk, a few minutes of silence each morning, writing your thoughts in a journal, or simply watching the sunrise without distraction, these moments allow you to reconnect with your deepest values. They remind you that your worth is not determined by how productive you were today, but by how intentionally you chose to live. Purpose also asks us to embrace gratitude, not because life is always easy, but because gratitude changes the way we experience life. Two people can live through similar circumstances and come away with completely different perspectives. One focuses only on what is missing. The other notices what remains. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it prevents pain from becoming the only story we tell ourselves. It reminds us that even during difficult seasons, there is still beauty to be found, lessons to be learned, and reasons to keep moving forward. As the years pass, something extraordinary begins to happen. The things that once seemed incredibly important gradually lose their power. Expensive possessions become ordinary. Status becomes less meaningful. Approval from strangers matters less than inner peace. What remains valuable are the relationships you nurtured, the lives you touched, the memories you created, and the character you built. Time has a remarkable way of revealing what truly lasts, and almost always it is love, kindness, wisdom, and purpose, not possessions, that remain most precious. As our journey through the reason you wake up continues, remember that every morning offers more than another 24 hours. It offers another opportunity to become a little wiser than yesterday, a little kinder than yesterday, and a little closer to the person you are capable of becoming. You do not need a perfect life to live a meaningful one. You simply need the courage to live each day with intention, to continue growing through every challenge, and to remember that your greatest purpose is not hidden somewhere far away. It is quietly revealed through the way you choose to live, the way you choose to love, and the way you choose to leave every person and every place just a little better than you found it.